Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to All Four Back. We are back after our week's break, and I'm joined, as always, tonight myself, just at 4:30, joined, of course, by Mr. Hadlington 83. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, mate, and good evening to Shads. Good evening, sir.
Oh, good evening. I'm going to have to make an announcement. I'm afraid it's going to be very hard to say this, and it's taken a lot of courage and a lot of. I just come out with it. Congratulations to the Warriors on their league title win. Well, that's it. I'm finished now. That's it.
Oh, goodness me, Shads.
I won't mention it again. That's the last time.
You plucked up the courage to say congratulations to the Warriors. I almost said Storm then, didn't I? I almost said Storm because that was almost going to be.
You don't know how much that hurt to say that. I've said it now. No one can accuse me of sour grapes.
Oh dear. Well, we will get into details about the last 2 weeks we've had in terms of league action. Of course, the last 2 weeks have been quite a talking point. These last couple of weeks. We started this week. Last week, should I say rather. We started at the Hackney Norse, who were.
Hey! It's only took 15 weeks to get that name right.
I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks, so give me a break.
Well done. Well done.
Anyways, so the Hackney Norse. There they go. It's just that last little bit. So Hackney were against your team, Hads, the Red Card Dynamite. And this match went right down to a last seat decider. You can see there was a 46-44 away win for the Dynamite, but the Norse didn't make it very easy for you, Shads, did they? Sorry, Hads, they didn't make it easy for you.
No, not at all, mate. To be fair, they probably didn't deserve to lose the meeting, if I'm being honest, on the whole. The only time, we were ahead after Heat 5, and then again, the next time we were ahead was that when we got the 4-2 in the last race. So, yeah, it was a really, really, really tough meeting. We had obviously a bit more time to prepare than we normally do with the break in between, but we got some good guests in Amber, 14 points, Sagar, a good 9 points, and so yeah, we just about got over the line. So I just hope the North come back next season and give it another shot.
Yeah, I was going to say about Amber. I was coming back after a while out of the game, and to score 14 points out of 5 rides, especially around Hackney, it does take something special to do that. So congrats to Amber for doing that, and also, of course, helping you guys to a win. Solid throughout the Dynamite. And onto the Norse, we had Max leading the way with 11 plus 2, backed up by Fake, who got 9 plus 1, Mackinnon 8 points, a couple of heat wins as well. But like I said, for this year, the Norse was it was all like an R&D season for them, like research and development, getting ready for hopefully next season if they do come back in. We do hope that the Norse do come back into season 19 to allow that bit more variety in terms of riders and tracks they can potentially pick. But Hads, this match for you was very important in terms of your league status, because the following week you actually had a chance to consolidate mid-table for the team. So this match for you, with that win, getting that extra point, was very crucial, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, mate. To be fair, we were going into the match thinking we can get the 4 points, but the way the North rode, when they come away with nothing, obviously I said before they didn't deserve to come away with nothing, because they rode really, really well on the night. Every single one of their riders, I think, bar the number 6, I think, had a heat win as well. So yeah, it's good to see the improvement as well for the guys to stick with it over the course of the season. But I think we got away with one a little bit there. So yeah, hats off. It was a really, really, really good match, to be fair, to be involved in.
Yeah, I totally agree there. Hads, of course, like we said, we hope the Norse do come back next season to compete. Of course, they've been a great inclusion this year. So hopefully Fakey and Max can use their skills and expertise to get the boys back up and running. Because obviously with this year being an R&D for them, certainly a few nerves at the start of the season. And then they just sort of got better as the season progressed, but still waiting for those elusive wins actually got better. And they had 2 wins this year, in comparison to all the other teams above them. So, I mean, fair play to them for coming back in, or for coming into the season this year, and allowing them to race in season 18. So, with that being said, we then moved on to potentially it was the big match of the week, the one that everyone was talking about. It was the Somerset Warriors against the Hyde Storm. Now, this one was talked about a lot in previous podcasts of being a potential league decider, and it actually turned out to be the potential league decider. Because the score there: Somerset Warriors 53, Hyde Storm 37. A surprising big win for the Warriors. And Shad, you were in this match that week, and the Warriors they sort of took you to school. Quite a big result for them against you guys.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we were quite confident going into it. I mean, we'd already won there in the KO Cup. I mean, if you're looking down the scores, I mean, we were ahead pretty early on, and I think we kept it pretty close up to about heat 9, and then we just got blown away towards the end. 4 or 5 ones in a row that sort of killed us off.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, none of us can be particularly proud of our efforts. I mean, Ads and Paris probably, and the top 3 did their job, but the rest of us, 8 points between us, not enough. And we have relied on our top 3 most of the season, and there's always going to be a time where 1 or 2 of us are going to have to step up. And unfortunately, we picked the meeting where we didn't.
Yes, it was a very important.
It was a pretty dismal night for us.
Yeah, of course, the Warriors were against you in the Knockout Cup, and of course they had a much different team to what they had at Hyde in the KO Cup. So was that at all? Did that sort of put your how did you feel knowing that was a completely different team that you were racing against?
No, we did. We were still. I mean, we were still. I wouldn't say we were overconfident, but we were confident we could get something out of it. Just a narrow defeat or a draw at best. But no, it was. And it looked like we were going to get something up until heat 9, and then just those 4 or 5 ones just blew us away. They were just quicker out the traps. I made a couple of mistakes. I think me and Langer were on a 5-1 in heat 10 at one stage, and then Wolf and Scotty went past me like I was standing still on the 4th bend, and it turned a 5-1 to us into a 5-1 to them. And I think the rot had set in then. It gave them a bit of confidence, and they just blew us away. No excuses. We just weren't good enough on the night.
So of course that match gave Somerset Warriors the points, and of course they needed then to win at Berwick the following week to guarantee league status. Of course, the Storm were also racing against Hackney that night, or that week. So even with Storm having a home fixture, the away fixture was important for the Warriors, which we'll get into in a few moments' time. But meanwhile, moving swiftly on, and we had a right cracker of a match at Birmingham, where it was the Birmingham Scorch against the Berwick Piemen. And again, 46-44, a last heat decider. And the Scorchers, they left it late. They went to the last heat at 41-43 down, but step up Limo and Sizzler with a 5-1 and gave the home team victory. And now this one even had the home team having a tactical substitute, and they still managed to win. Unbelievable. And it was also good to see the inclusion. This was actually Amber's second match. He was actually brought in as a guest at the Dynamite, as you saw, but then he came in for the Piemen and started off really well with a 5-1 with Lango. And and then sort of like had a couple of seconds, but then that last place in Heat 15 where he was on the wrong end of that 5-1, which was a talking point. And of course, Sizzler just said that Liam's 1 point won it for them, and I actually tend to agree with that. And let's see, had your thoughts on this one, because obviously this one went down right down to the wire, and of course the Scorchers left it late. They weren't actually in the lead for the whole mean up until Heat 15.
Yeah, it was a really, really close one. I mean, I looked at this one the day after it was run, and I looked at the guests, and I was like, "Wow, what's going on?" Kind of thing. But it's good to see Unknown and Liam back on the track as well, and Marecki, who hasn't rid in the league for quite a while. Yes, it was good. It was good to see those riders. I mean, back in the league, as she says there in chat, Liam, at 1 point there in Heat 10, where they got the 4-2 to level it up, beating Ben Thompson. I mean, that, I know it's only a point, but that point is basically won them the meeting in the end. I mean, I know they still had to get a 5-1 right at the end of the meeting, but it looks like an absolute cracking meeting, to be fair. And from what I'm reading in the chat, I haven't seen Heat 15 of this one.
Yeah, Powers has said, watch Heat 15 of this one.
Now, watch it had for cracker, mate.
Heat 15.
Heat 15 last lap, says Sizzler. I mean, do we have the...
Steve, Tank's trying to get it.
He's trying to get it. He was the server host.
It is a cracker.
Yeah.
It is a cracker. I watched it the day after to see it. And it was a cracking race. Really
but seeing that many guests in one match, it almost goes back to the Plymouth versus Birmingham when it was like 8 guests plus 2 rider placements in both teams, and it was when it's so many guests, you can't really pinpoint exactly who's gonna come out on top, because you want your 6 riders that ride for the team, but to have so many guests, it definitely throws a spanner in the works of what to expect. But again, got to say a great congratulations to Limo for getting the for the Birmingham track record. So Tank's got the footage. Here we go. So it was Amber Mouse and Marecki in green and yellow, Limo and Sizz for the home team, red and blue. So originally it was Amber Mouse leading the race, and then Marecki came through on the inside. Scissor there, almighty wide there on turn 3 and 4, committed to the outside there, managed to get through. So right heel thinking, it's going to be an away win, but then it just literally goes. Let's have a look here. It goes right on the outside. So Scissor there, dive bomb the inside, unsettles Marecki. Marecki goes in tight, comes up wide, and then wow, what a ride! Limo and Sizzler, unbelievable.
Great stuff. That was brilliant. That
was really good. Limo found the grip on turn 3 and 4, and sort of Marecki went backwards. I'm just getting the turn 1 and 2 again, or the turn 3 and 4. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it was that going to the last lap. So just that there, just right there.
Yeah.
Unsettles.
He blocked him as well, didn't he, and put him off.
Yeah, looks like Marecki. Looks like Marecki turned too late on that one, or too early, and sort of overcorrected himself. Yeah, and just sort of. Yeah, let's have a look at one more time. Yeah, good. It was a great start from the Scorchers pairing, but then Amber Mouse just came out of nowhere, and then left the door wide open for Marecki on the inside there. So there was 1-2 at the moment for the.
I thought Sizzler was going to go at the fence then on that.
For the pies.
Second bit.
And Sizzler there was putting Marecki under pressure the whole way through, and then right there goes in, unsettles him on the first and second turn.
Yeah, look at that. He's riding Marecki was riding mid-track there, wasn't he, on the back straight?
Marecki he turned in too early on that.
But he was riding mid-track, wasn't he, on the back straight? After Sizzler blocked him, so there was no angle for him to go into that bend.
Yeah,
That is not
but
the angle to go into that bend.
I must say it was a great win there for the Scorchers, leaving it late. Of course, 5-1 in that last race, getting that 46-44 win. But yeah, great ride there from Sis. That was superb. So those matches then took the league table into some form of it was like a foregone conclusion. Of course, mid-table was definitely one to look out for in terms of where the table was being finalized. So we moved on to week 21, which was the last week of the season, and we started off with the Hyde Storm up against Hackney. And I know it was tough for Shad to say congrats to the Warriors for winning the league, but I want to say congrats to Shad on his paid maximum. So congratulations, Shad.
My first ever.
Your first ever paid maximum.
My first
What a
ever
ride!
maximum.
What a ride!
Yeah.
And round Hackney as well, and around Hyde as well.
Yeah.
This one was, yeah. this one had Storm win from the start, because you just knew that the Storm were going to be upset about that Warriors defeat the previous week, so they would want to get back on it. And unfortunately, it had to be the North that had to suffer the wrath of the Storm, because this one was one-way traffic straight from the first heat. Do you agree with that, Shads?
Pretty much so. I mean, there was one heat. I mean, heat 3 where they got a 5-1, but apart from that, it was pretty easy going in the heats I was in. I think I was out gating people, so it must have been a strange night.
Yeah,
it was odd. It looked to me like they hadn't practiced the track, or they hadn't watched the recordings, because I think only Max was trying the inside line on 3 and 4, and I think he grasped every time he tried it. They were just mostly going outside, which is fine if you're well ahead.
yeah.
But if you want to get inside and block, you need to use that inside line, and I don't think any of them, apart from Max, were using it. So it played into our hands.
And of course, we've got to give a massive congratulations as well to Ads MFT, who got the track record in Heat 6 there with a 40.1. Is that 6.3 or is that 5.3? I can't tell from
163,
40.163. Yeah, 40. Yeah, well done. Congrats to Ads for that one, for getting the track record.
No,
of course, a lot of track records go these days, don't they?
No, it wasn't a jump, Sis. It wasn't a jump.
Nah, Ads is saying, nah, mate, it wasn't a jump. It was just a good
wasn't
race.
A jump.
Yeah.
I was refereeing it, so I watched every race.
So the Storm got the 3 points, because all they had to give was 3 points, and they were hoping for the Piemen to somewhat do damage to the Warriors' title aspirations, because the Storm could do what they did. They could only do a 3-pointer, being a home tie. But of course, congratulations to the Hyde Storm, who finished their home campaign with a big win against the Norse. And the Norse, they're consolidated last place, unfortunately, with the wooden spoon this year. But of course, it was still an R&D season for them. So hope they
got a couple of, they got a couple of wins, so that's something. No one thought they'd get a win at the start of the season. So congratulations to them for 2 wins.
Absolutely fine.
On one against the league champions.
Yes, that was a big talking point. That one was.
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking of course, week 20 saw the Cowboys have the week off, and they returned in week 21, and they took on a Red Card Dynamite squad with mid-table in their sights, and they didn't disappoint with a 48-42 win. And of course, you were in this match, and well, just talk us through it, mate, because this result gave you a mid-table finish, which you wanted.
Yeah, it did give us the mid-table we wanted, but obviously, the old talking point is Heat 14. We'll get into that a bit later on when we've finished the reviews. Obviously,
Yes.
I have had people say to me, "Oh yeah, it's not just on one meeting," but we know, which I can understand. I know you've had all season to get to that point, but we had nothing else to race for apart from a 10-point win, and with that incident, shall we say, in Heat 14, and it was V1. If that's not V1, we're fourth place and not fifth. So it's one of them. I don't want to go into it too much until at the end, obviously, but we done well to put a team out. To be honest, we had to patch up. Obviously, again, 3 guests.
Yeah.
We only had 4 people available for 2 days, and that's the best we could do. Scotty agreed to guest come in. I think it was the day before, because Cook's availability changed with work, and he did a solid job there in the middle of the team. He had the fastest time, actually.
8 points,
well. Yeah, he got the fastest time in his first heat, and he was solid, pretty solid forward. And Ben never gave up as well, but obviously Lesorcier, nice to see him back, another former Dynamite rider, just for Amber. So yeah, he did well as well. So pretty pleased overall to get the win against a good Cowboys team, obviously with Zygar as well. I mean, that's quite a good guest to get in as well for Caney. So yeah, happy with finishing with 3 wins as well. First from the season with 3 wins in a row. So can't really grumble too much at the moment, but we won't get to that in a bit.
Yeah, we will indeed. And of course, the big talking point of this meeting in particular was the silver helmet. Of course, Stefan has held that silver helmet for a very long time, and this week he went up against DL Shaw, and well, DL Shaw beat him twice in the main meeting, but then he became the first rider to beat Stefan this year for the silver helmet. So DL Shaw takes the silver helmet into season 19. Everyone was shocked that Stefan actually got defeated that night. But having your rider having the silver helmet, mate, they must be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, he's done fantastic for us this season. I mean, DL, he only come back start of last season after 8-9 seasons out, something like that, and
yeah,
he's just been even when he's not been able to hold in meetings, he's one of those that's still been in practice, still trying to find the line with the other guys in the team, and but I haven't seen that too much since I've been captain, to be fair. So that was a bit of a new one for me, but in the practice the day before, I mean, I know Scotty and Ben will tell you the day before when we practiced, it was absolutely smashing 0.2s, 0.3s every single race. And I did say to him, "You carry on." I said, "You've got a good chance tomorrow to beat Stefan." I mean, obviously, I didn't mean the silver helmet down, just in the meeting kind of thing. We all know how tough he is to beat, but for him to beat him
twice.
Four times in one night. I mean, who does that? So, yeah, hats off to him. To be fair, his cracking season.
Well, Hobnob saying in the Discord chat, saying DL Shaw equals legend, and he'll be one to look out for in season 19 wherever he ends up. He will have that silver helmet to defend in the first match of season 19, and hopefully we'll get some news on season 19 in the coming weeks. So do stick around for that. So we had the bottom end of the table sorted. We had the mid-table sorted out. It was now time to seal the fate of the top of the table, as the Berwick Piemen took on the Somerset Warriors. Now, you guys saw this live on the stream with myself and Craig, and this meeting certainly had everything. Yeah, it had talking points right from the word go. We'll get to that in close towards the end of the show. But this match, it gave the Somerset Warriors the first league title. Of course, the Warriors have had league titles in the past under different names. They've had the Workington Warriors. They've had the Milton Keynes Warriors. I think it was MK Warriors. And yeah, so those were quite a few of the names that I can remember back when the Warriors were racing. And this match, I said, had it all. I say drama, controversy, a rerun that potentially was a big talking point. Up until Heat 14, it was looking pretty good. And it was up to Scotty B and Badger Racing in Heat 14 that sealed the deal for the Warriors, because they were only near after 49 points. But to be fair to the Piemen, Shads, they left the Warriors up until Heat 7. They're only 2 points up. But then the Warriors just literally changed gear, and then that was it.
Yeah, it was pretty much expected that they were going to win. But the margin was quite impressive. Timing are pretty bad, weren't they? Most all night. They were pretty shocking when we went there. I know they were severely weakened when we went. They didn't have Don, they didn't have Squall, but we were surprised how bad they were when we went there. I mean, I've done a bit of research, for a change, and if you look at the league table, the teams that had the best availability finished towards the top of the table.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the Piemen, Speedy only rode in 7 meetings, Pompey only rode in 6. So that they were pretty depleted. I mean, look at Had's team, Dynamite, and then David No Fear. I know he didn't race. I think he quit the team, didn't he? He only rode in 5. Crook and Lofty together only rode in 7. Neil only rode in 6. So I think having your regular riders available every week definitely helps you. I think the Warriors were pretty much the same. I think they only used guests in the cup. I don't think they used a guest in the league, maybe just the one. But I think it does definitely help. Even the Cowboys, Smiler only rode 7, Haney only rode 7, Rico only rode 7, and it reflects in the league table if you look at it.
Yeah, so notice that one. Hads, do you agree with that? What Shads has said there? Of course, with availability of certain riders have actually made the league table as it is.
Yeah, I think so. Not just obviously our team as well. I mean, you look at Norse at the start when they didn't want to use guests and they used the low end riders when they was missing the top guys. I think that, yeah, I think it's bang on, to be fair. I mean, I worked it out myself the other day for our team alone. I mean, we only rode 6 matches in the league as a full squad. The other 6, we've used 10 guests and 3 wide replacements. So to me, that is just, to me, shocking, to be fair. But people have lives, so it's a game. You can't.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very true.
You can't. You know, people have got everyday stuff going on and different things.
It also helps. It also helps when you're offered meetings. If it falls on days, you've got 5 days to choose from. Or they pick 2 days where you've got riders unavailable. There's nothing you can do.
I mean, it's bad. I mean, when you can only offer 2 days when you've got 4 people available, like in our last match. I mean, it shouldn't be like that, really. But the week before, we accepted the one where Neil had to ride because he had to ride in one more match, I think it was, to complete his minimum counter. So, yeah, I do think, as you said, I mean, Warriors, absolutely. I mean, look at the squad. I mean, Stephen there, number 3. Stephen actually finished 6th in the averages for Warriors at the end. I mean, and that was on 6.
I did tell you they were favourites.
Did you? I'm not sure you mentioned
all season. I've been telling you all season they were favourites, and no one believed me.
I'd like to say something that Craig actually mentioned as well on the stream, actually, when after the end of the meeting. If you look at the league table, the points difference at the end.
Yeah, it was very close, wasn't it?
Even 8 points.
Yeah.
8 points in it.
Just goes to show.
I'm blaming Hads for scoring so many points at Hyde Road.
Now, boys, now. Like I said, with that one there, of course, the Warriors had to use McNally in that last meeting. But to be fair, that point he had certainly helped out. Again, it was a 4-2, which put the Warriors in front. After that heat 7 there, because also it was 18 points apiece, and then Ben Thompson and McNally battled for that third place in heat 7, with McNally coming out on top. And after that, the Warriors actually just literally changed gear and went on from there. But yeah, it was a great ride for the Warriors. Scotty B was very happy when he joined us on after the match. And of course Tank as well as a captain, and yeah, it was a great end to the season. Unfortunately, even though a couple of incidents did sort of take center stage, we're going to get into a little bit. And I got to say personally, spare a thought for B Witcher, who had the same issue he had previously in Heat 14, where he came into the server just as he got excluded, which was a bit of a shame. But yeah, I mean, fair play to all teams this year. They've been absolutely superb, giving us entertainment from first match right to the last, top to bottom. Absolutely superb. We've streamed
a cracking season, isn't it?
Yeah, we've
season.
We've streamed as best we can in terms of like availability for us and everything, and of course the podcast here. We had to review all the matches and all that. So we've got and everything's all been done. We will get into details about what we're going to do after this week towards the end of the show. However, I believe it is our first break, our only break tonight, as after the break we're going to be looking into the GP and SCS previews. So Shads, I believe you had the question for the SCS question, I believe, is that correct?
I do indeed, and I'll post it in chat now.
Yep.
How many maximums, full and paid, have been scored in the British League this season? So how many maximums, full and paid, have been scored in the British League this season?
So we'll get your think caps on, chaps, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. And we are back. Welcome back to Awful Back here. So the question we had at the start of that break was, how many full and paid maximums have there been in the British League this year? Shads, want to enlighten us?
There's been 3 full maximums, 2 Stefan and 1 from Zagar. And there's been 7 paid maximums. Ryan had 2, Becky had 1, Big Slow Caney had 1, Sizzler had 1, Craig had 1, and I had 1. So that's 10 altogether. The answer is 10.
Altogether. Who was closest? We had
Some
Scotty said
people had
8. Sizzler had 6. Ads had 5. Powis had 8. Hads had 7. Badger got 13. Squall said Jason Dawes had a few. And yes, when Squall asked us what's our 1 to 7 for the season, we will get into details about that, what we're going to do in terms of that, Squall. So yeah, that'll be one to talk about. Anyways, switching gears now, we're going to go into individual tournaments, and we're going to have the preview of the GP and the SCS series. Of course, the BGP and the SCS have 2 more rounds to go, and we're joining them at the Parken Stadium in Denmark for the penultimate round of the season. Now, the draw has already been done for these events, which should have been done last week on the show, but unfortunately, because we weren't here, we weren't actually having a chance to get them done. And looking at this lineup, of course, it's the usual big names, big guns. Looking at that, Sizzler. No, I was not. Anyways, looking at that lineup, Shads, I'm gonna get your thoughts first. What heat stands out for you in this heat? Or this round?
What heat's done, I haven't really looked at it, to be honest with you. I've not even had a go on the track yet. Only a few laps solo. Can't get it at all.
Well, the opening heats. We've got Limo at 1, Hads at 2, DL at 3, Sid's at 4, Zagar at 5, Unknown at 6, Racer Ryan 7, Fakey at 8, Squall 9, Bobby 10, Craig 11, Stefan goes in at 12, Super Dip 13, Powis 14, JC 15, and you're in at 16, Shads. So
you can pretty much discount top position. I think Stefan's got that sewn up. The interesting part is going to be who qualifies for next season.
Well, Hads has just confirmed that Zagar and Dip are not riding, so that'll be 2 wildcard spots, I believe, going in for that meeting.
2 replacements, I think.
Yeah, two replacements, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Just seeing if Hads
I think unknowns is racing. Is Limo's in as well, I think.
Limo replacing Speedy and Unknown for Crook.
Yeah. Not everyone's confirmed yet. I think it's still about 3 haven't confirmed. I think Craig's one of them. Surprise. I don't think Squall's confirmed yet. Last time I looked, maybe he has since the show started. I think they've got till midnight, haven't they? But I think the committee's been pretty lax with allowing people in that haven't confirmed yet. So I won't be reading too much into that. Pretty lenient with them, haven't they? So I don't think Craig's confirmed once yet. He's ridden in most of the rounds.
Ads has said Rye, Steph, Pow, and Limo in Heat 13. Racer Ryan red, Stefan blue, Powis white, Limo yellow. Wow. So that's actually a big heat. Squall saying he'll be there as always. So Squall is confirmed, I believe, as he says. That's cool. But again, it's all down to what the top 2 do in this one, because of course you've got Stefan and Racer Ryan.
Look at that, Heat 13.
Yeah, Racer Ryan, Steph, Powis, and Lima. That's what Ad said. Yeah,
good shout.
Heat 13. Yeah. So this one, well, apparently Sizzler says that Ryan owes Steph one. That was only the top 3 in the standings, and some guy named Limo. Of course, yeah. Top 3 is in that race. Wow. But yeah, again, can anyone stop Steph in this match? He's been pretty much consistent all the way through. Even though he was saying he was going to miss one this year, but then turns out he actually made it and actually got through into the final.
Yeah.
I think Steph's only missed one final this year, which is what the
didn't Ryan win a round earlier in the season? I think.
I don't know. Racer Ryan, can you confirm that, bud? If you did, because you're in chat at the
did he?
moment. Hopefully you can.
I think he won it. He did. Yeah, I remember him winning a.
Yes,
Yeah.
Racer Ryan did win one. Yeah.
So it's not been all Steph.
Yeah, it's not been all Steph, but Steph has been.
He's not going to slip up. He's not going to slip up now, surely.
No.
No,
I think
he's got a 21 point lead with 2 rounds to go.
Yeah. Racer Ryan dropped 1 point in the pesky Sizzler beat me in the first round of races.
But it's all about. I mean, JT will be confident about getting into the top 8. He's only a point behind Squall.
Mm-hmm.
He's missed a round, so I think he'd be quite confident, especially with his gating, because that track's it's not got a lot of passing races on it. You gate and hold your line.
I remember the old Parkin in season 3 when I rode on it, and I enjoyed it. It was a nice track. Of course, then things have changed and lines have changed and patches have all been altered around and stuff. So, but yeah, great. Great tournament this has been for Steph, and hopefully he can clinch it with one hand on the trophy. Of course, we don't know about streaming wise for this one here, but we are hoping, fingers crossed, to get the final round at Bellevue, Manchester streamed, possibly the SCS, because that actually looks to be the more closer tournament.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. And with that being said, the SCS draw also took place last week. So of course we've got the SCS draws, and again, this one seems to be a lot closer than the BGP. So the line for that one, we've got Stephen 101 goes in at 1, Lango at 2, Scotty B at number 3, Wolf 95 at 4, Pompey comes in at 5, at 6 Badger Racing, 7 Le Saucier, 8 Ben Thompson, 9 I believe the wild card is the Smiler, 10 Hobnob, 11 David No Fear, and you got Ads 12, Wolfie 13, Tank 14, Mackinnon 15, and Schoolio in at number 16. Unaware and unsure of David No Fear's availability for this one. I don't think has he raced at all this season in the SCS? I think he has, hasn't he? I'm not so sure on that one. But yeah, Hads, your thoughts on this one? Which heat stands out for you the most? Oh, do we have?
David's had two rounds. Dan, he had round 1 and round 3. But he's not ridden. He's not ridden since round 3.
So what heat stands out for you in this one? Shads.
Which heat?
Yeah.
I haven't really looked at it, to be honest with you. I'm looking at when Ads and Scotty clash.
Scotty B and Ads.
Can anyone see that one?
Scotty B and Ads.
It's gonna be early on. It's gonna be early on. Can't see it.
Heat 19.
Heat 19. Oh right, okay.
Oh,
and
Scotty B's on
right towards the end.
Scotty.
And you got Badger as a spoiler there as well with his teammate.
And Wolfie as well.
Yes,
because Wolfie did a good job in the last round. Certainly picked up some much needed points, and I think he got towards the podium. I think in the last round.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, did he got 3rd place, didn't he?
think he did, yeah.
Third or fourth, either one of the two.
Yeah, he had his best meeting, didn't he? He definitely
Yeah.
made the final. I think he actually came last in the final, but he did very well to get there. I think he scored about 10, 11 points.
I think we've lost Hads because he's just said, "Can anyone hear me?" No, we can't, mate. So hopefully Hads can rectify the situation. Because we are getting
his headset.
Yeah, that's all right. Don't want that. So again, this match looks a lot closer in terms of where the title's going to go. We're hopefully going to be having this one streamed at Bellevue because obviously this one is a lot closer. So obviously stick around for that. The big news, if that one does get streamed in the last round. Badger saying Heat 13. That's a good heat as well. The Saucier adds Tank and Steven. That's also a good heat there. So of course these matches take place on the same night, so you'll see both results coming up. Of course, this match takes place on the 18th of February, so not long to go. Only a couple of days before the penultimate round of the SES and BGP take place. And hopefully you'll get all the results next week on All 4 Back. Anyways, chaps, with that all taken care of, it's now time for the business end of the meeting of the show, where we have the talking points of some of the racing that we had the last 2 weeks. So I believe the first one we're going to look at is going to be Dynamite's Heat 14 against was it the Pies? Or was it
Cowboys.
No, it was Cowboys, yes. So it was Pies versus Cowboys here. Now this one I believe was actually let go and actually allowed to stand. So, Haz, just get your thoughts on this one, mate, if you can. We're looking at the guys on the outside with blue and yellow. Right. So
Yeah, I'm actually in blue there.
you're in blue there, yes. You got Bobby on yellow, and you're in blue. So just talk us through this, mate, and just let us know what was going through your mind.
We had a little conversation in our little team chat. Well, obviously only three of us in there. We had all the guests in, but
didn't see much contact there.
I think we said go an extra bike length to the corner with the rider on the outside, and we'll be able to put them off going a little bit, which is obviously it worked and was it. But what you don't see in that is actually I've rode like a complete class, shall I say, mid-class, because Bobby was behind me, and Bobby actually passed me on the last corner to get the 3-3.
Yeah, we're just
the heat was called in chat, and it was a 3-3, and then next thing you know, it's a V1 10 minutes later, and yeah, it's a 5-1 in the V1 to the Cowboys, unfortunately.
Interesting to get the referee's thoughts on this one. I believe the referee was Tank, I believe.
No, it was Thrax.
Oh, it was Thrax. Unfortunately, I haven't got Thrax in, unfortunately.
I don't know. It's all I know everyone's been with the ball, how you interpret the ball, I think, is open to contact, no contact. There is contact. Obviously, to me, it's clear there's contact. Not a lot, but there is contact. In fact, the rules contact.
Ads, they're saying, wait, that was a rerun? Yes, it was a rerun, Ads, and it was a very surprising one, actually.
To me,
it's very, very slight, wasn't it?
It's the minimal contact between.
There is contact. I've ironed out a little bit there, but
minimal.
Yeah, but it's all how you
They're saying Howard Webb's had some emails this week.
We all know that. We all know these people give up their time to referee them.
Yeah.
couple of hours before
But
we didn't know it was definitely this, that,
but
and the other.
the rule says contact. It doesn't say enough contact to put someone. It just says contact. So by the letter of the rule, that's a rerun.
But
It's
it
the
said
same with the
it also
incident. It's the same with the incident in the other meeting, in the Berwick Warriors meeting. It was very little contact, but it says contact. There's no, you can't, unless the referee's allowed to interpret it himself.
Yeah, but what it
The
also says in the ruling is it's been covered to cover incidents where a rider has been involved in a collision with another rider on the first bend, which causes them to crash. To me, that has not caused Bobby to crash, in my opinion. I'm going to say that because I'm riding in blue.
Looking at the race at full speed, it looks like there was like no contact. When in that slow motion, you actually see like the contact pretty much. There was contact in slow motion. So yeah,
it could have gone. It could have gone either way. I mean, Bobby said that himself in chat. I mean, obviously, I'm a bit mixed, obviously, because it's
Tank's going
even
right. Here we go. This will show us Tank's going right close here.
I mean,
so you've come up there a little bit, gone in.
Yeah.
Oh, just that little bump.
He just stopped turning, didn't he? Bobby just stopped turning.
That little bump there.
To me, that's not enough to put him in the fence. I mean, afterwards, the next day, he did say he tried to turn right first after the little contact to save it. I mean,
but then on the contrast, it was actually past the first end. So.
Bobby, and I've had conversations with Stefan as well, and Quacks in the committee chat, and to me, it's not enough for him to go in. But it's obviously, it's how you interpret the rules, and I'm not a referee at the end of the day, so
I'm surprised you threw him right out the start.
Yeah, but that was because I know that line is faster going to bend one, and if I can go that extra bike length with Bobby, he's actually ahead of me. I know that when he's got a turn, I'm going to be level with him, kind of thing. If you get me?
Yeah.
So I turn there, and I'm actually ahead there.
It was that little bump.
Yeah.
Powers had just put. More importantly, how on earth did you let him catch an then pass you had before the end of the race?
We're not talking about that, but you thought that was bad. You didn't see the rerun when it was a 5-1. But no, it's just one of them. It's a bit kicking the ball, so to speak.
Kicking the guts, yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit of a tough one to take. I had a bit of a couple of days of knowing to a few people and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
I spoke to Bobby about it. He said it was 50-50. People have said this and that, but ultimately, what happens is the referee, and it's not going to be changed. I don't think so, as much as I'd like it to be. But
well, we're just looking at the remainder of the race here, and you can see there Bobby catching up to you, Ads, and you rode mid-track there, and then Bobby just literally said, "Thank you very much, mate. I'll have that," and there you go. And
I'm not online once. I don't know.
No.
Shocking, to be honest, for me, but I don't know. I think we put our bikes back in the pits and everything. I mean, Le Sorcier had actually just about to turn his laptop off as well, and he was gone for the night. And then I was like, "Don't put your to V1." He was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, come on." Probably didn't help him. But
Ads had said, "Scrap the first bend rule, and you'll have more people to run meetings. The stick ref gets deaf, puts people off."
Yeah, I do agree with that. To be honest, what I've done the last 2 days is man to referee. So.
Well, I think a lot of talking points will be happening, at the STS AGM, deciding like rules and stuff, and of course you'll find out all the news, the rules and regulations, hopefully first on all 4 back next season. So the second incident we're going to look at, and I believe it's it actually going to be the Piemen Warriors match, I believe, unless there's a different one that I haven't seen. Yeah, I think it is the Warriors one. Now, that's red car again, Tank. There we go. So this one you saw live on the stream with myself and Craig, and this one had a lot of talking points. So you got to keep an eye on green and blue, which is Ben Thompson in blue and Zagar in green. Now, originally, this race was a 5-1 to Berwick. However, there was some controversy in regards to the start, where Zagar appeared to make contact with Ben Thompson, which sent him wide. Now, Shads, your thoughts on this one, mate? Because this one took a long time for Steph to make the decision, and it did raise a few eyebrows as to the decision that was made.
Yeah, I've watched it loads of times. I didn't actually watch the stream. I was busy, but I've watched it since. There's definitely contact. I mean, there was contact between Rhaegar and Ben initially, and then a slight contact with Alan in yellow as well. Enough to put him into the fence? I don't think so. But if you're a referee and you're following the rules, you have to give a rerun because there was contact. There was some contact. Berwick being such a tight, narrow track, maybe Zagar didn't have time to correct it. You'd have to ask him.
Yeah.
If I was refereeing that meeting, I would have given a rerun, as the rules stand.
Straight away, and not let the race carry on.
Well, no, you'd obviously you'd have to let the race carry on because it wasn't an obvious ping. Sometimes you get an obvious ping where a rider just goes off at right angles into the grass or into the fence, and you obviously have to stop the race then. But with this one, it's a tiny look. He's still turning. He's still turning after Ben sort of slightly grazed him. He's still turning the bike left. If you look at this, you look at the first contact. Rhaegar's pointing in, which he's allowed to do. The slight contact there, and he's still turning the bike left. Look, see? And then he just drifted out. So whether he lost control or what, I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I wouldn't think he deliberately fenced himself to get a rerun, because he jumped straight back out and carried on the race. So it's not so. I don't think he was looking, because he knows Zagar, when he fences, he quits the game. But I think as a referee, I would have had to give that as a rerun.
So you would agree it was a rerun, yeah?
As the rules stand, yes. But personally, I don't think there was enough to put him into the fence. But then, only Zagar knows. Yeah, he's already said. He couldn't turn the bike.
And that Steph did take a bit of a while to make the decision, to obviously do the to make that decision. Of course, he called then all four back in, and that actually allowed Zagar to continue his maximum. But yeah, if we were looking at it here again, the slightest of contact. I mean, me and Craig were saying it in the chat, like there was no contact there at all to begin with, from like the angle that we had. But looking back on it now and seeing the decision that Steph had to make, it did certainly raise a few eyebrows in the meeting. And this was actually.
Dan, I don't think it made any difference to the result.
No.
Personally, I don't.
But mind you, it would have been Zagar's first drop points, because he was unbeaten up to that point. So, yeah, this one had, I mean, even me and Craig were shocked in the chat, like on the live, that we were shocked at that call back as well, because from what we saw from our angle, that there was nothing remotely wrong with it. But of course, then Stefan's obviously seen something that we didn't, and it just as it
To be
was.
honest, I think we'll just jump in a second. I think, personally, I've spoken to Stefan about both things. I think Stefan has given V1 on that decision based on the previous one. Because if you look at that, I mean, just like there, Zagar's ahead of Ben. It's Zagar who goes across Ben, but Ben actually said he got a ping from Alan, but managed to stay on as well.
I think we should have just excluded Alan.
But Alan does hit Zagar as well, and as Ads has mentioned in the chat, there's nothing about your own teammate there. He hits the back of Zagar as well. But I know it's hard for referees and it's contact, but I think what people are forgetting is that the last bit of that contact in the ball says which causes them to crash. Has that caused Zagar to crash, that contact? That is what you've got to remember. I mean, that's why I don't think, obviously the first one being me, I don't think it was enough for Bobby to crash. We spoke about it, blah, blah, blah. It could be 50-50, and it's the same with this one. But, I mean, yes, Alan just pings Ben as well forward. So, I mean, I think most of us were shocked by the decision, but at the end of the day, we've got to remember these guys giving up their time. There was no referee. Stefan actually jumped in to make sure the title decided wasn't decided on contingency. So, I mean, can you imagine?
I think it's going to be an obvious ping to have a rerun, and that wasn't an obvious ping, and neither was the one in your meeting heads. That wasn't an obvious ping. I mean, if you look at Zago, he's turning even after contact.
Yeah.
So I just think he just run out. He just run out of room.
Yeah.
On the track, because like I said earlier, because that track is so narrow, and even the bends are narrow compared to a lot of other tracks. I think he just run out of room. Personally, that's my opinion. But as a referee, moment.
Yeah. I mean, Steph, go on, Hads.
Do you say that based on contact, or do you say that based on it's not enough to put him in?
I don't think there's enough to put him in, personally. But only Zago would know that if he lost control. He's still turning. He's still turning heads. He's still turning. He's turning the whole time. He's turning left. He's not been pinged right into the fence. Because most pings you see, they change the angle and the bike just veers to the right. I think he just ran out of room.
My argument then is, if there's not enough contact to put him in, why is it a V1? That is my next argument.
Because that's the rule. The rule is contact. Unless it's changed.
The rule is not contact.
What's the actual rule say?
It says an all-four back rule has been added to cover incidents where a rider has been involved in a collision with another rider on the first bend, which causes them to crash or grass or fence.
That's not a collision, is it? Like I said,
collision, but
it's not as if he was pinged and the bike changed direction. He was still turning, going all the time. He was turning, even up to when he hit the fence. So he was turning. He just didn't turn enough.
It's a tough one, but obviously I'm comparing it to the first one as well. I don't think the contact's enough to put him in.
See, that's a good point from Ryan. If you read Ryan's point,
there's enough to put him in, as the bike's always turning after the contact. Only way you stay out is if you back off.
So he didn't back off.
No, he carried on.
Probably it's a split-second decision. He probably thought he could make it, and he didn't.
Yeah, this is what Sid was saying.
Which is why he jumped straight out and carried on the race. If he'd have thought he'd been hit, he would have sat in the fence waiting for a rerun, wouldn't he? Surely.
Yeah.
Most people do. They know straight away. They know straight away when they've been pinged.
Yeah, I've said stuff in chat about it, and fair play to them. They did their thoughts on what happened, and he said he felt a touch. So Only he knows that he felt the touch. But just getting back to what Sis and Ads are saying in the chat on about teammates, it used to be a thing though. If you hit your teammate or something, it wasn't a thing. I mean, it's how you break it down. Are you going on the contact from Ben, or when Alan's touched Zagar, which looks more contact to me than what Ben was on Zagar. But again, I'm not a referee, and as people said in the chat before, you get more people refereeing if the decision was changed. Obviously, I mean, I know Tank's got another one, I think, to show us that I haven't seen from our meeting against Warriors a couple of weeks ago involving DL Shaw and Alan. I mean, I haven't seen this before.
We're just seeing this now, yeah. So again, same principle of this time it's gone on the inside of the track. So looking at blue and yellow here.
Alan just turns too hard. That's
well,
right.
He gets a bit sandwiched in between red and blue.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was enough to cause any sort of
But then again, if you're saying
if you look at DL Shaw, he doesn't do anything wrong there. He rides the line he should be riding, off the inside gate. Alan just turned in too hard. He was turning in hard anyway.
I mean, I think it all depends on that where you come down to. Is it contact? See, there is contact there.
There was a slight clip by Crook, but it looked like Alan was turning in anyway.
Yeah, it does look like that, but again,
I'd say goes in.
I'm not being disrespectful, but you have to look at the skill level as well.
Yeah, that is true. I do get that.
That's something that's something to take into account.
Was this one a rerun, or was it let go?
That was a rerun, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I've just had Sizzler ask in the chat, was it a rerun?
It was a rerun because Tank was left in our meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tank can confirm that. Sizzler saying, "Wow, ref's gone soft." It was a rerun. I was a ref that night.
But there was contact between Alan and Crook. There was obvious contact, but was the angle that Alan was turning at? Would he have got in anyway?
Yeah, but
it's a tough one.
If it's contact, if the rule is just contact and it doesn't say has forced them to grasp, for me, they're all. But it's the bit at the end which says causes them to grasp. Is it enough to make them grasp? After speaking with him, he actually told me from the end of the season questionnaire last season, one of the questions was, first down bunching is where any contact sends a rider into the grass and results in a rerun of the heat before 4 riders. This is based solely on the referee's view. Do you like this rule? 76% of people voted yes. So
that's a lot.
I think it has to be like an actual proper contact, not like the minimal stuff. Because like minimal contact doesn't make it
ping. Dan, everyone knows the difference between a ping and contact. Everyone knows.
It's got to be a proper
when you've
ping.
been pinged.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be a proper ping. Yeah.
Ads said it.
As I said, it's spot on. Race run said everything is difficult here, and it's how you interpret the rules. Maybe rules need to be rewritten.
Yeah, and that's where it comes in with the vote as well, with that big 5% of vote. People actually voted for that. I mean, but to me, that question in the questionnaire is totally different to the ruling of the actual, if you like, the actual rule of it. So it needs to be the same or very similar to how the questions asked to what the rule is put over across, because then it's people's opinions, and obviously we'll be able
the contingency, what would have happened? And there was no Stefan and refereeing, what would have happened? There'd be even more uproar for me, but.
Had you changed a bit? You were muffled just now. Now you're completely clear. What's going on there?
No idea.
Yeah, you're now perfectly clear, mate. Sizzler, did Alan score in the rerun, Chester? I don't know that one. I think he might have done. I could be wrong. Powis, you said it, Dan, Shads, but there was so many arguments and disagreements on what a ping, what isn't, what's a violent one, what isn't. That's why that rule got scrapped. It's just never been rewritten properly. Racer Ryan, turn it into a proper ping instead of just
he did. He did score in the rerun. He got a point. Warriors got a 4-2.
That's the easy way if someone says pause to replying to ads. Well, it was definitely a talking point. In fact, all like collisions and that this season have been a major talking point. But with that being said, chaps, we've got a couple more things just to go over. Not only we have the last couple of rounds of the SCS and BGP, but we also have the BLRC coming up in a few days' time, I believe. I believe registrations for that are taking place as we speak. I believe it's the top riders from each team, I believe.
Yeah, there's still a few not signed up.
Yeah, unsure on what the track is.
Sizzler being one of them. Cradley, Dan.
Oh, it's Cradley. Okay, Cradley.
Yeah.
So another one of the. It's Tuesday. Yeah, is it Tuesday? How's it saying it's Tuesday?
It is Tuesday. Yeah.
Yes, there we go. Yeah. So the riders confirmed at the moment. We have Limo for the Scorchers, Stefan for the Cowboys, DL Shaw and Stephen for Dynamite, Powis for Storm, Squall for Piemen, Racer Ryan for the Warriors, and Zagar for the Warriors. Ads MFT and Wolf 95 are the next highest averages in the respective teams. Waiting confirmation from Sizzler, which he has just done now. He's confirming again for the BLRC, so Sizzler is in. So just waiting for Big Slocany, Maxed, Fakey, Craig, and Dons for the for the BLRC, taking place on Tuesday, the 20th of February at 8:30 at Cradley. So Cradley, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Come on, don't upset Hads now. Come on, that's his thing.
Well, it's all different ways of saying it, isn't it? Sometimes.
Not in Cradley.
Absolutely. Sizzler saying Cradley is a dump. Yeah.
That's all right. Come from Cradley, but not Cradley. You know what?
Dudley.
Yeah. Dudley. What was the famous saying that Dudley used to have? Omeron, was it? Or was that Cradley? Omeron.
That's Cradley, then. Cradley, come on.
Yeah, Cradley. Hey, Cradley wasn't around when I was into Speedway, so I don't know these things.
I'll let you off.
I know from like 2004 onwards. So the BLRC taking place on Tuesday at Cradley. And obviously Squall said in the chat what was our 1 to 7 this season. What we're going to do over the next few weeks is actually have a review from all teams. So each week, for the first 2 weeks, we're going to have for the first week next week, we're going to have the Norse and the Piemen.
Yeah.
So the Norse and Piemen, Norse and Piemen are going to have their review this season next week. The week after, we're going to have the Cowboys, Dynamite, and Scorchers. Yep. And then the last week is going to be Storm and Warriors.
And we've got another week. We've got another week after that as well. We've got the end. We've got our end of season spectacular,
Yes, we do. That's going to
and
be
we
on
might
Thursday.
we might be having some season 19 information as well.
Sizzler, Storm and Morris, please have Tank and Pow on, says Chester. Well, we are looking for a rider from each team to join us in the on the show for those weeks. So be interesting to see who we get for each team. So of course it's Norse and Piemen next week having their season reviews. So yes, get your popcorn for that one. Badger says he's around if needed.
I'm trying to get Ben Thompson in to talk about the timing. It's not confirmed yet. But we're trying to get Ben in.
And
we haven't spoken to Ben this season, have we? So
no. And I would imagine that Fakey's going to be in for the Norse. So
yeah.
To be confirmed. But we'll let all the information about that in the coming weeks. And of course, hopefully, you'll have season 19 news. We'll have, of course, the review of the SCS and BGP rounds at Parkin next week. So yeah, that's the idea. So each week we're going to have the 1 to 7, and then we're going to have the a rider selecting from each one to make our 7 riders of the year, which will be quite entertaining to get everyone's view. My view, Shad's view, Had's view, and all that. So yeah, looking forward to having that sorted out. With that being said, chaps, I think we've got all bases covered. Unless you have something you want to say up. Anything, Shad's, Had's, anything?
No, it's been a good show as usual.
Yep. Just the World Championship sign-ups are still. I think I'm not sure when the sign-up end.
There's one spot remaining for the second qualifying round.
If you're not signed up, get signed up.
There's 2 qualifiers. I think there's 1 spot left.
So there we go. That's the. Well, looks like there's 2 in out of 32.
No. I signed up earlier, so I'm 31.
So you're number 31.
I think I'm 28. Oh no, there's 2 spots. There is 2 spots. Sorry, I apologise.
All right.
Because I signed up after Craig, but they've obviously put me before.
Yeah, Shad, you signed up after Barnej.
Oh right, okay. So who signed up after me?
Craig's in. There'll be Powis. Powis was after you, wasn't?
Did I sign up twice?
You signed up twice, Shad.
Did I?
Looks like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, twice.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll score double points and I still won't get anywhere near it.
Podcast, also known as reminding Sis what's happening. So yes, there is 2 spots available. So position 1 and 32. So looking forward to seeing how that progresses. And then of course we'll get the lineups and track selections and everything else in the coming weeks. The shocking thing is that Craig filled in the availability form for the BGP. Nope. That's just Craig being Craig for you. But yeah, it's looking quite good. Like 32 riders, the top 32. Quite a few of the familiar names in there. So you've got Tank, Wolfie, JC, Ben Thompson, Zagar, Alan, Badger, Huddy, Sky Rider, Squall, Neil, Bobby, Capesy, Stefan we know is going to be in there. A return there for Heppel as well. Nice to see Heppel back into the fold.
Good news.
Yeah. Obnob, Big Slocany, Racer Ryan, DL Shaw, of course the silver helmet holder, Wayne, Rico, Thrax, Unknown, Scotty B, Hadlington, Cam, Barney, Shads, Powell, and Craig.
It's good to see Barney as well. He's not had many opportunities to race this season. I think he's only had a couple of guest appearances, so good to see him getting more involved.
Am I correct in saying that that Wayne's Malta's number 1? He is indeed. Yes, I remember that. Malta's number 1 rider, Wayne. Gosh, more those years ago. Crikey. Yeah, that's certainly a one to behold. Had you got no chance, mate?
Come on.
Nah, mate. Nah, can't do that. Can't do that. Oh, blimey.
Summer League, guys, come on, get them Summer League bikes out.
Lockdown Summer League. Well, that was quite good, actually. I remember that. That was quite good. That is quite good. So with that being said, all things have been covered. I think it's time we wrap up tonight's show. Unless we have anything else you guys want to bring up.
No.
No.
Just
Fine.
congratulations to the Warriors, to be fair, for a good season.
Yes, congrats to the Warriors. It's been a great
I've said
season.
it once. I'm not saying it again. At least we stopped them doing the double.
Yes. So the cup goes to the Storm, the league goes to the Warriors. So there's only the BLRC, the SCS, and BGP rounds yet to be decided. And of course, we'll have that. We'll have all those results as the weeks progress before the end of the season. So with that being said, we're going to have the checkered flag fall for tonight. It's been a great show. So as always, we're going to be back next week. Usual time of 8 p.m. barring any mechanical gremlins or any mechanical failures on either one of our sides. So I will say a good night to Shads.
Good night.
I'll say good night to Hads.
Good night.
It'll be a good night to Tank, our producer, who does a fantastic job for us.
Yeah,
and it'll be a good
Tank.
night. Indeed. And it'll be a good night from me, Chester. We will see you all next week here on All 4 Back, 8 p.m. on Discord. Until then, ride safe, and we'll see you later. Ta for now.